Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here. Thought I would get back with you and talk about those couple of issues that I left on the table from the last vlog. The Hillary Clinton conspiracy, the nuclear bomb, and that's going to get dropped on the Democrats. And I thought there was something else, and I just can't think what it is right now. I'm going to do a little traveling vlog today around the outskirts of Grand Haven. It's just too cold out there to vlog. So the first thing is, Tulsi Gabbard. So we'll start with Tulsi. Why I blame it all on Tulsi. It's very simple. Back in 2015, she was part of the DNC. She worked for the DNC. She left the DNC and she took up a position basically supporting Bernie Sanders and started working for his campaign. This did not make anyone in the Democratic Party happy. She became persona non grata for the most part. And what bothered me most about it was that it actually worked out in a Fox exit poll from the New Hampshire primary, was that 50% of the Democratic voters consider themselves liberal. So that means half of them are moderates. And every one of these candidates that have been running have been on the left, basically ignoring all the moderate voters. And I really thought that Tulsi had an opportunity to make some gains and be a serious candidate if she had just taken a much more moderate tone and a moderate. Well, we got a deer right there, almost venison on the grill. There you go, you can see its backside. Okay, if she took a moderate view, there would have been 50% of the voters out there that she would have had a chance at getting support from them. And instead she jumped into that Democratic left and fighting for scraps of that other 50%. You had like 12 or 15 candidates at one time, all vying for that liberal 50%. And I just thought it was a shame, and that's why I blame Tulsi that some of this stuff was going, that had happened and that she became a less than desirable candidate. And then the way it played out now, which I find really despicable. So if you are a moderate Democrat voter out there, you have been played. Because after this primary, you had Bernie Sanders and you had Buttigieg come in 1 and 2. And Buttigieg is out there right now talking about how he's the moderate candidate. He's the moderate candidate. I'm Mr. Moderate. I think, if you're a moderate Democratic voter, you ought to be ashamed of the Democratic Party. They have ignored you all the way until now, and only when it's convenient, when PD Boy needs your vote, then they come looking for you. Then they come asking for it. It's despicable. But hey, vote for who you want to. Now, the Hillary Clinton nomination conspiracy theory. Why I think after the New Hampshire primary, it's even more evident she's going to get the nomination. And here's why. There's nobody that wants Bernie to win. They've done everything they can to rig this Democratic primary against him. Buttigieg doesn't have and I hate using the word, the gravitas. He doesn't have it. He can't, he was a former mayor of a medium-sized city. That's it. Warren and Biden have both imploded. Biden was the guy, Biden I think still has a chance if he does okay in South Carolina, maybe Nevada. I still think he's got a slight chance if he doesn't keep slipping on the banana peel. But the way it stands right now, the number one and number two candidates are no one that the Democratic Party really wants. And that's why it goes to a brokered convention and Hillary Clinton gets the nomination. They talk about Bloomberg. Bernie, all of these people have done nothing but rile on the problems with this country is the millionaires and the billionaires. Now you think they're going to let one come in and take the nomination from them? Are you kidding me? That'll never happen. Everything they've ran against and now they're going to support, not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the nuclear bomb, the political nuclear bomb that the Republicans, especially Trump, is going to drop on these Democrats, and there's nothing they can do about it. And it's a bomb that Democrats always dropped on the Republican in these presidential elections. Always true to form. It always came up. It usually came up late in the campaign process or close to the election. And that was how the Republicans are going to steal your Social Security. They're going to take Social Security from you. You're going to have less money, grandma's going to have less money to live on, yada, yada, yada. And for a lot of you that are fairly young, and I think the real young that are watching, that Social Security is not going to be around for you. But if you're in your 20s and your 30s, you just pass this off as grandstanding. It's just, BS. But as you get older, it does become an issue. And what's going to happen is they're going to get out there. The Democrats are going to start spewing on this free health care, free education, pay off your student loans, the Green New Deal, get rid of fossil fuels. They're going to start talking all that stuff. And Trump is just going to stand there and go, all that sounds really good. Just sounds amazing. I only have one question for you. How are you going to pay for it? Oh, I know. They're going to have to cut Social Security in order to pay for this stuff. They're going to have to cut it. If you don't think they're going to cut it, then you're just living in a fantasy world. And there's people right now that have been, saving money, investing money in the stock market, and these last 4 years have been really good to those people. And if you think for 1 minute, and they've been, a lot of them have been starting to close in on retirement. And if you think for 1 minute that they're going to vote for a Bernie Sanders and take a chance at losing money in their 401k plan or their retirement accounts, or Bernie Sanders is going to actually take money away from Social Security, take money away from their retirement income, they're just going to let that happen. Or, all for Bernie, we're on it all for Bernie. We're going to work, instead of retiring at 60, we're going to work another 4 or 5 years just to help Bernie out. If you think that's what's going to happen, then you're just living in a fantasy world. When it gets right down to it, when people are asked to pony up and take money out of their own back pocket, they ain't going to do it. So the taking money out of Social Security money, taking away your money that you've basically been forced to save and that you've depended upon in your retirement to live off of. They're suddenly going to take that money away from you to pay for windmills, to pay for a solar farm, to pay for one kid that decided to get, rather than get a degree in engineering, went and got one in medieval philosophy. And now you got to pay his student loan back because he can't find a job. It's not going to happen, people. It's just not going to happen. So, I think that is the nuclear bomb that's going to get dropped on these people. There's going to be no response for it. I don't care if you're never Trumpers. They're just not going to find it in their heart to give more money out of their back pocket to a Bernie Sanders candidate. It's not going to happen. Never Trumpers they'll stay home or vote for Trump. Moderate Democrats, you've been played. But I still don't see them giving more money to a leftist in the Democratic Party just for the sake of voting Democrat. I don't see it. So, with that, keeping your back pocket and your wallet in my mind, hoping that the government doesn't take any more than they are really legally allowed to. This is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.